The persecution starts now.
Hello everybody, my name is Hammock. I just wanted to make a quick video basically wrapping up the Chen update of 7.37, just like a review, just in case a patch comes out, say tomorrow. I just want to sort of have my thoughts on this patch. So far, I think Chen is in a really good spot. I think he doesn't really need any buffs or nerfs, and I think if we went into the next major update and there wasn't any changes, I would be completely fine because I feel like they're in a pretty good state. It is a little bit annoying because there's a couple characters that are soft or hard counters to Chen, primarily being Pudge, who can use Hook to insta-kill your creeps, who are very strong right now. But it doesn't necessarily feel like Chen is bad, it just feels like you need to be careful. I first pick Chen whenever I'm playing with my friends as a support, and you just kind of get unlucky and you go against two people who counterpicked you and you're like, well, this isn't a great game, but you're still having impact. It's not like you're getting completely obliterated. I also want to go over the builds that I've been running. I have this guide that I work on every so often. I just want to advertise it because I'm getting a little bit close to 1,000 games played total, so that would be very cool. I'm actually surprised people have been using my guide when there's all these other ones made by, actually 2 by Sickle, and all these top ones which have got thousands of ones on it. But Chen is the least played character. I imagine a lot of these are, oh shit, I need to play Chen for my all hero minigame or for a cavern crawl type thing. Let me just pick the top guide. But this one I've been working on every so often. Anytime there's a little tweak, I like to experiment with some changes, so I'd appreciate it if you try it out at least. I've been running double sentry at the start because you want to block the enemy camp, but you also want to make sure you secure your small camp. I've been running Vlad's drum as a basic, so I go basically one of two builds. I either go tempo, where I feel like we can play really quickly and I can play with my team and go push objectives early, in which case I go Vlad's drum and we go for towers, and then Earn into Spirit Vessel is a pretty good item since Bracers got nerfed. It's a great way of getting a lot of hit points, as well as it just countering a lot of annoying people like Pudge or enemy healers. And then I'll kind of round it out, I'll get Vlad's drum, another item, and then run back to Boots of Bearing, hopefully before I'm out of drum charges. I've also been running the Aghanim Scepter a lot more. It's quite fun. I don't think it's great. It's not worth it unless it's a luxury item. But because I'm not playing all my games super competitively, I don't play ranked. I'm just doing this for the love of the game. I've been running Ag Scepter as my third item most games, and I quite like it, especially with the Hellbear facet. Because what you do is, if you're pushing a tower, if you're doing a team fight, you have your Vlads, which gives everyone a bonus to damage if they're in aura, an 80% bonus. You use Aghanim Scepter to sacrifice your Hellbear if you took that facet, which is the main one I recommend. The Hellbear dies and gives a 60% base damage boost to allies nearby for 5 seconds, which on top of your Vlad's means it's a 78% bonus damage, and you can use this for just destroying a tower as well as popping drum, and you can just delete a tower. It scales very well with people like Drow or Morphling, or people who build stats as opposed to building flat damage. So this is a very good combo, as well as at the same time you're using it to single target Hand of God, heal an ally, or snipe someone. It's not going to do a lot of damage because it does magic damage. It doesn't say, but I've tested it. It deals magic damage, so it's affected by magic resist, which scales up over time. So it's not going to do a whole lot, and it's generally not worth it going for it. I was testing to see if Ag Scepter plus Divine Rapier set to magic mode plus Phylactery would be a funny meme orbital obelisk cannon build. It's not worth it. It does maybe 1,000 damage with 10,000 gold's worth of investment. You're better off playing just an Invoker support, going Exhort, than doing that. But it was funny to try. I feel like I was onto something really cool there, but Nah, and you also have to spend one of your 4 creeps. I was also testing to see if you could grab a mud golem, sacrifice it, it splits into other mud golems, and then if you could sacrifice those, you can't. You have to reapply Holy Persuasion, and you can't if they're already your ally unit. And you can't also do it with the skeletons, because that was the other thing. If you had the Dark Troll Summoner, could you like keep raising 3 skeletons and then sacrificing them Hand of God? You can't, sadly. So you have to spend a Holy Persuasion on something and then down the line use Acceptor on it. But I found this to still be very good, especially if you're like me and the type of people that you play with like to go off on their own and 1v5 people, in which case you can be like, oh, they're doing it again, let me just shotgun through all of my creeps and just spam Hand of God on them, and then somehow they're still alive. It's like TF2 heavies over off in the corner with a brass beast just killing people, and you're like a mile away just shooting Crusader's crossbow arrows, keeping them up, and people don't know how that heavy is still alive, but you know. It's fun. So yeah, this has got a nice combo with the Hellbear. So I've been running Hellbear mostly. Satyr is nice if you want to like try hard and like have the Mind Stealer go mid and like keep stealing mana or using it against people. Hellbear is also a consistent one to have if you're against the Nyx, which is quite strong right now, because Nyx will use their like Mind Flare to like delete your creep if it's got any kind of mana pool. But the Hellbear, the like starting like one, the potato doesn't actually have a mana bar, so it's not gonna do anything to it. So it's a nice sort of like counter pick you can have if they're trying to counter pick you. So the basic build I run is like Flash Drums. The scared build, which I like to run, which is if you pick Chen and then you're going up against like a lion, you're gonna Ricky, a Slark, a, like PA, someone who like as soon as they see you, you're dead. Build, you can't really get away with Drum Vlads because these have a lot of value from you being nearby and providing passive buffs to people, like a Floor Lucio. But if you are going to die in a fight pretty quickly, I like to go Greaves, Pipe, Solar Crest, maybe a Vlad's on top of it later. That way my impact is I Hand of God, I Divine Favor somebody, I Solar Crest somebody, I pop Greaves, and then if I die, it's done. I've already got my value out. It's not great that I die, but at least I'm going for like front loading my value as opposed to existing and providing the value that way. So this is like my rough build. It's pretty consistent. Shard is still really good, although I hopefully try to get Shard from Tormentor just because there's so many items I would prefer to buy first. But Shard is still an amazing item that you should be getting. If you don't get it on like the first 2 Tormentors, I think you should probably buy it. And if you get Vlad's Drum and you're like, I don't know what I should get, just get Shard. Shard is amazing. It can give you access to the Granite Golem or the Black Dragon, or the Rumble Hide if you're against someone who's building Butterfly, or a PA who's got base evasion. That's like necessary to have. I shouldn't have it in this build because there's so many like variant things that it's kind of just spam to have the Shard there all the time, but you should just be getting Shard whenever possible. So what I want to go over now is, I think Chen is in a good place, but I can still have my wish list, you know, like if they came up with a new update and they indirectly nerfed Chen a couple ways, you know, they redesigned the map every so often, maybe they're going to get rid of a bunch of small camps near safe lane, maybe they're going to make it so neutral creeps work functionally different, which is all going to indirectly or directly hurt Chen. They want to give Chen a counterbalance buff. I got like 2 suggestions that I think would be very nice. First one is, I would like, among all these like facets, I would like a Wild Wing facet. I talked about this on like my Blue Sky. I would like, so you get the where are they? Glossary units. I think it's like small camps. A small unit. The regular Wild Wing. I guess that's a medium unit. Where art thou? Yeah, there we go. The Wild Wing, like the regular Wild Wing that can summon the Tornado, pretty good harass. It doesn't last as long as it used to. It's got like a fixed duration. You can't just infinitely channel it. It's nice harass in a lane. It applies like an attack slow and some damage over time. It can also be good for softening up stacks. If you've made like a couple ancient stacks and then you realize, oh crap, my ally is not going to be able to clear these stacks, you can use a Tornado to slowly whittle down its HP without aggroing the camp. So it's like, that's something at least I use a tornado for, but otherwise it's like it's kind of a neat feature. The main thing is the Wildwing Ripper, which provides the tasty bonus 3 armor, which stacks with the Black Dragon's armor because it's a unique effect, but primarily the Hurricane, which is the vector targeted 4-staff effect, which you can use on channeling units and it doesn't break the channel. I like to use it so if I'm in a fight and I'm running away because everything's gone bad, I activate a TP as quick as possible, and then I use the Wild Wing to like push me maybe up a hill or onto a cliff without interrupting my TP to make it harder for them to like get to me and interrupt it. I actually use this on an ally. If they're running away, I can use it to push them further away, get them away from an enemy attack. If someone's like a Witch Doctor or a Crystal Maiden who's channeling, push them to safety while they initiated their thing. Really good with Witch Doctor. Chen's actually got some really good synergy, especially with Penitence. He throws down his Death Ward on an area, and then you push him back out of sight into like trees or up on like a cliff, and it doesn't move the Death Ward. The Death Ward can stay in an aggro position, which is nice. It's just generally a really, really good ability. You can use it with the Centaur to throw the Centaur in to go for a stun, or pull someone in towards the Centaur to go for a stun. This is basically an ability that I would happily have in every single one of my lineups. This is an S tier creep. So if this was a facet, this would be a really huge buff. Chen probably doesn't need it right now. It would be huge. But if they are going to nerf Chen in some capacity, this will be a nice counterbalance buff. So this would be fantastic to have the Wildwing Ripper. The other thing, which I think would be a nice quality of life, and it would help bring up the other options, because currently we got the Satyr, we got the Hellbear Convert, and I kind of like the Troll Convert, but these three just aren't as good as the Satyr is like the best. Although I prefer the Hellbear because of the synergy of having the creep die and then using Accept also to apply the effect as well. The other ones aren't as good. What they should do though is make it so when you're in the game here, so you see the option, you have the convert and you can like summon it. But when you get to a certain level, let me move myself up a bunch. And then I reset this. Oh. How do I kill this guy? Oh yeah, I can just accept it. When I get to a certain level, I get the stronger guy, but then I can't get the smaller guy back. And as a result, like, some of these just lose a lot of value. Because you get the Centaur Convert, which is cool on paper. You get this really cool like creep that allows you to go for stuns in the mid game, but then he falls off very quickly, and that's when I prefer to have the Centaur Corsa, who can like provide the magic resist aura. So I would love an ability to alt cast this ability. Currently, if you like right click this, it has no functionality. It'd be cool if you could like right click this and maybe the icon changes between the two ones to let you know. I'd like to be able to right click this and like summon the lower level version of the creep with the same level of like stats that I have in Holy Persuasion and whatever. It's got the same scaling, but if it gave me the option to switch between these, suddenly all these would become a lot more like fair. Because I mean, Wolf Convert would still probably be the weakest because the regular wolf is really, really good. The alpha wolf, not the giant wolf, sorry. Being able to give like a 30% damage aura to like base damage is huge, especially again if you're playing with a stat carry. But the other wolf is not great. It just has like a little effect where it roars and then people's base damage are reduced, which is situational and it's a very short range. So if you try running it up to anybody to attack, it's gonna die out of like level 1 like skirmishes. But the Hellbear, you can switch between giving a damage boost or an attack speed boost. The Troll Convert, you have like the net or the summoning. The Satyr Convert would be even stronger, arguably, so this would be a nice counterbalance buff if other things occur. Say they decide, okay, people are running Greaves so much, people already hate auras, we're gonna remove Greaves. Like, this would be a nice counterbalance buff to also make up for like the mana loss in being able to switch back to the Mind Stealer at all points in the game. Yeah, those are two things that I have on my wish list, but other than that, I think Chen is in a really good state, and I'm really happy that like where they're in right now. He's really fun to play. And even though if you're necessarily in a bad draft, they just still feel like an amazing and fun character, and I hope they don't rework this character anytime soon, because they're very unique. And if any Valve dev is watching, I love you. And see ya.